My brother convinced everyone I was mentally unstable to steal my inheritance until I recorded him admitting the whole scheme. When Dad died last March, he left me and my brother Marcus each $385,000 in separate trust funds. The lawyer, Richardson, explained that Marcus would be the trustee for both accounts since he was the older sibling. I thought it was just a formality since we'd always been close, but I should have paid attention to the smirk on his face when Richardson handed him the paperwork. 3 weeks later, I noticed my debit card wasn't working at Target. When I called the bank, they said my account showed a balance of $12. My hands started shaking as I drove straight to Marcus's house on Maple Street. Something felt terribly wrong, but I had no idea how deep this went. Over the next month, Marcus launched a calculated campaign to destroy my credibility. He told our mom I'd been acting erratic and making threats about money. When I confronted him at Thanksgiving, he said, "Maybe you should see someone about your paranoia, Sarah." He convinced our cousin Beth that I'd been calling him at 3 a.m. screaming about conspiracies. At Christmas dinner, he announced, "I'm worried Sarah's having a mental breakdown like Aunt Linda did." When I tried to explain about the missing money, he just shook his head sadly and said, "This is exactly what I'm talking about. She's completely delusional." He even got our family doctor, Dr. Peterson, to agree I seemed unstable during a routine visit. By February, I realized Marcus wasn't just stealing my inheritance, he was systematically isolating me from everyone who might help. I started recording our conversations on my iPhone 12. During one visit to his office downtown, I pretended to be confused and asked him to explain the trust situation again. That's when he got cocky. He laughed and said, "Dad never meant for you to handle that much money anyway. You're too impulsive." I pressed further, acting helpless, and he admitted he'd been transferring my funds to offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands. The real bombshell came when I asked about the death certificate Dad's lawyer needed. Marcus casually mentioned he'd handled the paperwork and forged Dad's signature on documents dated 2 days after Dad actually died. My recording captured him saying, "The old man was already gone. I just made sure the timing worked in our favor." He'd literally falsified legal documents to ensure he got control of both trust funds. I took the recording straight to the district attorney's office on Monday morning. By Wednesday, Marcus was arrested for fraud, forgery, and embezzlement. The FBI froze his accounts and found he'd already spent $47,000 of my money on a boat and gambling debts. He lost his job at the accounting firm. His wife Jennifer filed for divorce, and he's facing 12 years in federal prison. Turns out the only person who was actually unstable was the one pointing fingers.